Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I last minute saw that there was a recovery workout and I was like, yes, I can actually do it today.
Yeah, it's been very sporadic because of the because I'm covering for Jen in class. So it looks like it's going to move to every other weekend kind of thing when Jen leaves, because I'm going to teach every other Sunday. I'm going to coach every other Sunday there. So the Sundays I'm not coaching there, I'll be doing recovery here. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how it all works out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yes. How are you feeling? Is there anything you want to work on?
Low back and hips would be great. I've been doing training hikes on Sundays. So
okay, because you
I
leave
did this morning, just a shorter one around the neighborhood I finally got my pack fully packed and it's still missing a little bit of weight. And we decided we need 1 more liter of water. And it was hard this morning. Like my low back, I think I'm going to have to front pack some of the water.
Yeah.
Just to not have, just my low back is really feels stressed. So it's just a lot of weight. So
it's in a couple weeks, isn't it? Coming up?
Yeah, we leave in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So this coming week is our last week of full training.
Okay.
So, and then we're going to take more of a rest week before we go.
Oh yeah. Yeah. How's your leg been? Your knee and
Great. My left knee has been a little bit it's not bad, but on a heavy step up, step down, I'm like, oh yeah, it's that's probably going to be sore on the hike, but it's not bad.
It's not terrible.
Yeah. And I think it's I was tight this morning. I think I need to, I'll do more mobility and that'll probably help. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you bringing a brace, like a knee brace or anything in case?
I wasn't. No, I wasn't planning on that. I've never worn a knee brace before. So I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
Some people just, the light compression braces that literally just cover the knee and compress.
Mm-hmm.
They work well for some people. I don't know. It's a thought, but at the same time, it's like, how many more ounces is that to stuff in a backpack and have to carry? So
yeah, I had 53 on my back today. And when I add my Kindle and my 1 more liter of water and like my tortillas, I'll be close to 60.
Yeah.
So I'll probably use my day pack in the front to carry some water, which I don't want to do, but it probably will help. I don't know. I'll try it.
Help take some of the pressure off your low back, even the weight from front to back, just a little bit.
Yeah. I find myself when we stop, I'll do little cat cows to try and give, and it's what my body wants to do. It's just feeling really compressed, I think.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of weight, Yeah.
But it's only the first day that will be really heavy because we're going to drop 6 liters of cache water. So, and drink and eat. So
it'll get lighter as you go. That's
the first day is just going to be really crappy. But, but we'll be excited. We'll be going into the Grand Canyon, so that'll distract.
You'll be running on adrenaline anyway, so it'll be fine.
Exactly.
All right. Well, let's work on, let me pin my video. There we go. And we will work on some low back stuff. Let's do an easy check-in of just a happy baby. So nothing super fancy, that grabbing for the inside, outside of the feet, whatever works for you. And rocking it side to side. Maybe playing with the pelvis a little bit, untucking the pelvis, getting a sense for how the pelvis is moving. Perhaps straightening through one leg, straightening through the other leg, just get a sense for the backside of the legs. Mine are still feeling quite tight from Friday. And then we'll let that go. I don't know what balls you're using, but for my low back, I like the medium-sized balls. But pick something. We'll start with just one, and we're gonna.
Is that a larger than the I have the tune-up balls.
Yeah, you have the small ones.
They're small, so they make a bigger one?
Yeah, they make 3 sizes. They have this size, which is what you have, and then just slightly bigger.
Okay.
And then they have the alpha, which is massive. So I typically use these 2. These for my shoulders and these for my back and butt and quads and stuff. The bigger muscles, it just feels better for me. But they all work equally well. It's just a preference thing. But I would start with one either way.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to zigzag. So we're going to start just beneath the rib cage and zigzag our way down and zigzag our way back up. So just kind of trailing along the length of the low back from the rib cage. It's a little bit of an inchworm shoulder crawl. Keeping in mind that this is kind of just your warm up, feel out the low back, see how it's doing, see where your tension is, if it's higher or if it's lower. My tension is at the 2 ends, right at the rib cage and right at the pelvis is where my tension is. But getting a sense for that on this one side as you zigzag. And this doesn't need to be pretty or perfect or anything in particular, just feel your way through your low back. Just a warm up. You don't need to get too specific yet. And let's take it over to the other side. So I'll go over to my left. So start at my rib cage, and then I'm just gonna zigzag my way down. And once again, it doesn't need to be a perfect roll. It can just warm up the tissue, figuring out where your tension is. I can already feel this left side is not near as achy and tight as my right. Take just a couple more breaths, couple more laps up and down. All right, and then we will pull the ball out. Let's focus on the top portion to begin with. So I'm gonna do this with 2 balls just because I like the way it feels a little bit better. Makes it just a little easier. But right below the rib cage, 1 ball on each side of the spine is where we're gonna start. So the top half of the low back. Set the balls in right beneath the rib cage. It's just like an inch or 2 beneath the bra strap. You're gonna set those balls in and just let the butt kind of sink to the ground. Relax over the top of it. It'll take you into a bit of extension. And get a sense for this. Does it feel really sticky and tight? Can you breathe? Some people, this is a very sensitive area. So take a moment to determine, like, is it too much? If it's too much, put some weight into the feet. That'll take some of the pressure off. And let's really breathe here. So on your inhale, expand your rib cage backwards into the balls. Try to compress downward into the balls, expanding the rib cage backwards on the inhale, and then the exhale, let all of that go, release. Let the pressure on top of the balls come off. So just a couple breaths that way. Inhale, expand the rib cage backwards. Exhale, relax, let the rib cage decompress a little bit. We'll do 2 more breaths just like that. Inhale, expanding backwards. Exhale, let that relax. Final 1, inhale, expanding backwards. Exhale,
let that relax. All right, and you're gonna get to decide how much movement you want here. So if you're happy in this place, you can just slightly shift the butt side to side, working over those little speed bumps. If you'd like to create a bigger movement, you can shift largely side to side, and this will begin to let the balls roll outwards, underlining the rib cage. Once they get too far, set them up, put them back through center. It just kind of depends on where your stickiness is. If it's, you can really feel it in this area. Sometimes a tiny little scrub side to side can feel really nice. But if the area is not feeling too sticky, a larger swish side to side can just cover the full area. So pick what works for you here. Either a small little scrub or a larger movement. Just do a couple more little traverses outwards. And then we're going to take the balls down. So now we're going to go to right above the pelvis. So if you find the pelvis line, take the balls one on either side of the pelvis, just one on either side of the spine, just above the pelvis. So you're on the lower end of your low back. Set the balls in, and once again, let your butt drop to the ground. And get a sense for how this is feeling. And from here, take a few breaths. If it's super sore, no movement is needed. You can just hang out. If it's not so bad, we're going to play with the pelvis to begin with. You're going to tuck the tailbone under, squeeze the butt, a little lift of the butt off the ground, and then slowly lowering the pelvis back to the ground. So a little tuck, untuck. Using the balls kind of as your fulcrum of movement, lifting and lowering as you go. Do just a couple more tuck and untucks. Then I'm going to come somewhere between the two. So I'm just going to slightly lift my butt up off the ground and dig my heels into the ground. I'm going to create a little scrub up and down. So working right along those speed bumps, those erector groups right along the spine, just a tiny little inch up, inch down kind of movement. Make sure you're continuously breathing here. As it gets a little sticky, we'll tend to hold the breath, so make sure you're breathing. All right, and then let's change it up. We're gonna come into those hip swishes left and right. So careening along or outlining the top of the pelvis as you shift your hips left to right. Once again, you're on the low back side of the pelvis, but you're just kind of outlining that upper crest as you shift side to side. All right, let's take one more little traverse outwards, and then we'll get a little more specific. So the next time the balls come to the out, take out one of them. I'm going to take out the one that's on my left side, set it off to the side. I'm going to keep the one on the right. And I'm going to take that ball kind of in the same line that it is, right above the pelvis. But I'm going to move it just outside the erector group. So about a third of the way between my spine and my side body is where that ball is going to be. So just outside that group of erectors, right above the pelvis. Setting the ball in there, and it doesn't have to be exact. We can play with it and find the spot once we get there. So setting the ball in, I'm on my right side, so my right knee is gonna drop to the ground in a little half butterfly. This is gonna twist my pelvis, so now the ball is angling in at about 45 degrees. And then you'll adjust. Where does it need to go to feel the most for you? Mine needs to go up just a little bit more to get the most sensation. So I'm gonna take it upwards and then attempt to kind of relax into it. Finding my breath. And depending on how much this feels is gonna depend on, maybe you're just breathing here. If this is feeling really, really achy and icky to you, just breathing can sometimes be the best option. But either way, we're both going to take a few breaths. So just inhaling and exhaling, breathing into the balls. And then you can decide, maybe this just sitting here feels really great, in which case hang out and stay. I'm going to find a little up and down movement because that's kind of what mine feels like it needs, which is going to go along the length of this little muscle that lives in here. So digging my left heel into the ground, I'll come back to that little up and down scrub. It's not a huge movement because it's not a huge muscle. And I'm just kind of working along the length of it. Scrubbing up and down, breathing as I go. Now, if this isn't working for you or it's a little too much feeling, you can always come into some contract relax, which is going to be pulling the pelvis towards the rib cage, kind of doing a little crunch over the top of the ball, squeezing the side body, and then relaxing that squeeze. So it's a little alligator chomp of the side body, rib cage to pelvis, pelvis to rib cage. Feel those side body muscles engage and then relax and see if the ball actually felt really good. Let mine relax just a little bit. So I'm going to do a couple more. You can choose, do you want to do the little up and down scrub or the little alligator bites that contract, relax, whichever is working for you. Try it a couple more times. All right. And then we're going to come off of this side and take it over to the other side. So it's going to be the same thing round two. We're looking for the same area. So about a third of the way between the spine and the side body, just outside that erector group. You're going to set that ball in. You're right above the pelvis. And then it's my left side, so I'm going to drop my left knee open, which is going to angle the pelvis up so that that ball goes in about 45 degrees. Now, for me, this side does not feel near as much as the other side did, but if I move around a bit, I move down on this side just a little bit, I can find a nice spot. Yeah, that's a little sticky. So I'm going to hang out here and take a few breaths. Maybe this is the side that's hurting more for you, in which case take it slower, breathe into it a bit more. But either way, we will breathe. So deep inhales, slow, steady exhales. attempting to internally relax those muscles around the top of the ball. And if this side hurts worse than the other side, maybe you just hang out and continue breathing. I'm going to find some movement. You're welcome to join me. Same thing we did on the other side. You could dig that right heel into the ground, create a little scrub up and down, working along the length of this muscle. Doesn't need to be a huge movement. And if that's not working, or you want to try something a little different, those alligator punches, the little pelvis to rib cage to pelvis, crunch the side body, and then relax, going through that a couple rounds. Yeah, the contract relax is just working a little better for me today. But you can decide. If the contract relax isn't where it's at for you, come back to that little up and down scrub. All depends on what you need. And I'm going to go through about 2 more little crunches, so another about 15, 20 seconds here to play with this side however you see fit. And then we will slowly take ourselves off of it, set the balls off to the side, laying on your back, just squeeze the butt a couple times, make sure your glutes are engaged, your low spine is safe and working. And then we'll come back into our happy baby. So taking your happy baby position, grabbing for the inside, outside of the feet, whatever you can reach. Maybe straighten through one leg, straighten through the other. Play with the pelvis. My pelvis feels a lot more, have a bit more movement here now. Not that I ever have much, but it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, I just sank right down into it this time. Much more easily. Legs are still tight.
Yeah, my hamstrings didn't get much release from that. It's fine. All right, let's come into some glute bridges. Since we're here on our back anyways, but let's make them a little more flowy than what we do in class. So setting yourself up in your glute bridge position, we're going to include the arms here. So on the inhale, you're going to roll the spine up, reach the arms overhead. Big squeeze, being okay with coming into some extension on the back here, and then slowly lowering one vertebra at a time down. Arms can come to rest at the sides. So taking it past that standard glute bridge, maybe coming into a little lift, a little extension of the spine. We'll do a couple more. Inhale, lift the hips, reach the arms overhead, squeeze at the top, almost like a good morning stretch, and then lower one vertebra at a time. Arms come to rest by the sides. Let's go for one more. Inhale, lift the hips, reach the arms, squeeze at the top. Try to just kind of make it feel good, and then lower one vertebra at a time. We're going to play with this just a little bit, take it a little bit of an angled kind of play here. So envisioning pressing down just through the right side and how that's going to twist the pelvis. I'm going to push through my left first, actually, just so you can better see it. The bridge will roll up kind of at an angle, and then I'm going to switch and press through my right side, and that'll lower me down kind of at an angle. And then I'll reverse it, push through my right, zippering up, the left side of my spine, switching at the top, lowering down on my right side. So it's kind of like you're running along the right side of the spine, switching over, running along the left side of the spine. Just a little playing with what's active and what's not as you lift and lower, going side to side. A little rotation there. Let's go one more each direction. And then we'll relax that, let that go. Let's come into an upper back twist here, straightening through the right leg. Right arm comes overhead, press through the left foot. Pelvis is gonna twist to begin with, and then the left arm will follow, big twist. Inhale as you open, exhale as you reach. Go for maybe 2 more little reaches here. Last one. And then we'll switch it up. Right knee will bend, left leg will straighten, left arm will go overhead, right arm out to the T. Press through that right foot, squeeze that right glute, reach across the body. Nice twist. Feels good on this side, much better than it did on the other side. And just going in and out of that twist at your pace. Inhaling as you open, exhale as you close. Let it feel good for you. Maybe 2 more. And then we'll let that go. Roll onto your side, bring yourself up to a stand. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. All right. So we're gonna play with the pelvis just a little bit and the rib cage. So we're gonna kind of mess with this, and this will be easy stuff you can always do on the trail to kind of get a sense for where you're at. So here's the top of my pelvis, and we're gonna begin just by tucking the tailbone under and sticking it out behind us. So we can make this big and cat-cowy, but we're trying to actually keep it small. So can you isolate the pelvis from the rest of the spine? Making it as small as you possibly can. And maybe you start a little bigger and work your way towards smaller, whatever helps you find that movement. I like to have one on kind of my front and one on my back just to help me get a sense for it. Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to just move the pelvis.
It is hard to just move the pelvis for sure. All right, let's change it up, grabbing for the top of the pelvis on either side. So seeing that that rim of the pelvis. The goal is going to be to lift the right side of the pelvis, lift the left side of the pelvis. Some people find it easier if you kind of come up onto the toe to find that lift and lower. Once you have it, you can take the heel lift out of it and start to play with just the lift and lower. I would watch for, I tend to, as I'm lifting, come into a bunch of extension to find the lift. So I try to focus on, can I keep my pelvis in a neutral position and lift? Mainly because that's harder for me. But just pay attention. Maybe you tend to tuck under and lift from there. But try to see, can I find as neutral of a pelvis as possible as I find that pelvic lift and lower. The knee is going to bend. You can't really see it in the video very well, but the knee is going to bend as you're doing this, kind of bend and straighten a little bit. Let the shoulders relax. My shoulders are trying to creep up to my ears. Let the shoulders relax as you're doing this. They don't actually need to help.
and then we'll kind of let that go. And here's what we're gonna try. It doesn't need to be perfect, but we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna try to make a circle. So it's tuck under, lift, stick your butt out behind you, lift, tuck under, lift, butt out, lift, tuck under. So circling of the pelvis. And once again, can you isolate just the pelvis? Let the shoulders relax, make it as small as possible, trying to keep the low back as quiet as possible. And once you've done it one way, can you then do it the other way? This is the harder way for me.
It's a big mental game.
It is a mental game, yes, for sure. It's like, it shouldn't be so hard, just switch directions. All right, let's do one more, maybe. Okay, and then we're gonna kind of shake that out, let that go. Okay, let's play with still pelvis one more time, but we're gonna keep our rib cage still. And can you shift your pelvis left to right as your rib cage remains quiet? You can move your rib cage side to side, or in theory, you should be able to move your pelvis side to side. Lateral deviation of the pelvis, giving it a shot, seeing if you can find that. A little shift side to side. And once again, always notice, am I sticking my butt out behind me to find it? Am I tucking way under to find it? Can I find it in neutral? And then let that go. Bring your hands to your hips. And now can you find the rib cage sliding along the top of the pelvis? Can the rib cage move side to side as the pelvis remains relatively still? Typically, one is a little easier than the other to find. It's different for everybody. Maybe it's the pelvis, maybe it's the rib cage, but one is normally easier. It's not too bad though.
Rib cage is easier for me.
Rib cage is easier? Okay. All right, so now let's take the rib cage. So we've been laterally deviating. Now we're gonna try to that anterior posterior deviation. It's not quite a thoracic cat-cow. It's kind of trying to slide the rib cage forward and slide the rib cage backwards. Can you find like the same kind of deviation movement, but now in a front to back plane? This one is hard for me to do.
Very small.
Yeah. This one takes a lot of thought for me. It's not something that is supernatural. Okay, and then let's do one more, taking it in a circle, similar to kind of how we did the pelvis circling. Can we now find the rib cage, thrust forward, deviate to the side, go backwards, go to the other side, thrust forward. So a rib cage circle or spiral. And once again, my shoulders really want to take over. And then reverse directions if you can. Maybe you can reverse. maybe not today. Maybe not for me today. There you go. It's not so bad. It's pretty good. All right, maybe one more. Then let that go. All right, let's take some big standing cat-cows. So standing up nice and tall. It's a little bit of a flash dancey kind of move, but you're going to reach your hands out in front of you, tuck your tailbone under, round the spine to the best of your ability, and then stand up, Hands come back, extending the spine backwards to the best of your ability. Reaching it forward, tucking under, big cat position, and then big cow position. Going through just a couple more rounds, big cat, big cow, at your own pace. Playing with it while you're standing to get a sense of it in an upright position. Let's do for 2 more. And then we're going to take it at an angle. So same thing, but you're just going to twist slightly with the rib cage kind of to the right. And then you're going to do a little cat at that angled position. And then you'll do a cow at the opposite angle. So there's a little bit of twist in the spine as you're going through your cat-cow. It'll change it up just a little bit. For me, it feels really nice on the low back. And then as I come up, it feels really nice on my shoulders. And then when you're ready, switch the angle. So twist the opposite way, cat that opposite way, and then cow. Maybe 2 more to this direction. And then we'll let that go. Do you have a strap or a towel or something you can hold on to?
Yes, in the garage. What are we doing with it?
We're gonna bend side to side. So literally just anything you can hold between your hands works. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So grabbing it between your hands, just at a comfortable width, something that's comfortable for your shoulders. We're gonna lean to the right and lean to the left. Keeping in mind, unlike yoga where we're trying to force it all into the upper body, let that hip jut out and let that whole lateral line get a nice big stretch. It doesn't have to stay in the upper body. Side to side movement here. And then, I mean, if you don't have vertigo, or if you're generally okay, you can take it down, around, all the way back up. But if you tend to get super dizzy, you don't have to. You can just stick with the side to side. But to me, the folding forward just feels really nice. Go maybe 1 more each way. And then we will let that go. Let's do 1 more on the ground, kind of a gate posy. I think we've done this before. I don't remember if you were here when we did it, but it's a little yoga gate pose-ish. Yoga gate pose, the leg is straight out to the side, but for our purposes, we want the leg to be slightly forward, just a little bit, forward at an angle. So my right leg is forward, my right arm is gonna kind of trail down my leg, but as it trails down my leg, I'm gonna allow myself to come into that rotation. So I'm kind of rotated and extended, and then I'm gonna reach the opposite arm overhead, reaching up, back, and away. And you'll feel kind of this whole right side of the back of you kind of turn on in extension. To me, it just feels really nice. Breathing as you're here. And then we'll release that. We'll switch sides. The opposite leg will come down. Once again, not directly out to the side. You're slightly forward. Left leg's out, so my left arm is going to trail down my leg. As it trails down, I'm going to come into a little bit of rotation, a little bit of extension. I'm going to let my opposite arm go overhead and just hold and breathe. This whole left side should feel pretty active on the back side of you. This side, I feel a really big stretch as well, but breathing into it as you go. And then we'll let that go. Let's do one final one, a little nerve glide for the front of the hip. Depending on your leg, you can prop the back foot. I can always find it without propping, but if you can't, that back leg can be propped up on something. I don't necessarily need the prop, but maybe it works better for you. The goal being to tuck the tailbone underneath you just a little bit. So a tuck of the tailbone, and then you'll slightly, as a unit, begin to shift forward, and you'll start to feel a stretch on the front of the hip. It's a nerve glide, but it feels like a very superficial kind of hip flexor stretch. So I like to play here, and I like to play with my pelvis. So I like to tuck, untuck, and kind of circle my pelvis in this position to kind of bring myself in and out of that stretch and find the pull at different angles. To me, that feels good. But this is releasing kind of that, it's a femoral nerve that runs through the front of the hip and feeds all the muscles at the front of the hip. So it's a nice release for it. And it doesn't need to be a super big pull. Again, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 is really all you're looking for. And then we'll let that go. Switch sides, same thing around 2. So sitting up nice and tall, tucking the tailbone underneath you. The back foot can be propped. For me, it's a little too much to prop the back foot. So I just tuck under and kind of lean forward as a unit until I feel this kind of superficial pull along the front of my hip. As I'm breathing here, I can begin to play with that pull by tucking and untucking the pelvis, or by circling the pelvis around a little bit to change the angle of pull and try to kind of play with the different vectors of pull and possible release for that nerve. And we'll take about another breath here, playing with it as you see fit. And then we will let that go.
Let me check the time. We're right at time. All right, we will call it then. It's like we could do one more, but won't keep you too much. So hopefully got some ideas for some things you can do on the trail too, as you're going, to kind of help your back and hips and everything. Basically just keep your spine mobile as you're moving, as you're going through it. Keep the pelvis moving and keep the spine moving. And it should help kind of alleviate some of that back. The side to side movements with control will probably be really good as you're going through it, mainly because hiking is front to back, you know, your feet are hitting different angles, but like you're walking, like it's all sagittal plane. So doing anything kind of side to side or circular should bring a little bit of relief to areas that are getting tired. So keep that in mind, but also like slowly, not just busting it out like you're in the gym, kind of everything's okay, let me just run through this, like slow, so that you're like, oh, okay, that's a little stiff, but I'm not going to throw myself into it, kind of thing.
don't need to hurt myself while I'm out
No
there.
need to hurt yourself trying to find release.
All
Yeah.
stories, that's not the one I want to tell.
I was stretching and we've all done it.
So true. So true. Yeah.
Well, good luck. Have a good one. I don't know if I'll see you before then, but maybe I'll see you at the gym. We'll see.
What is so Jen's not leaving for another couple weeks, right?
Jen's last day is the 11th.
Oh, okay. And that's when the schedules all shift.
Yeah, yeah. Is the 11th. Yeah. Yes, everything changes the week of the 10th. I actually think the 10th is her last day and we start on the 11th. So like I'm teaching Tuesday 11th, I have the 9:15, the 10:30 and the noon. And it's well, that's when everything shifts over. So her last day is the 10th. And Sean, Travis, and I will be there starting the 11th.
Cool.
Yeah. So keep an eye on the calendar though. If you're planning on doing Murph, I don't know if you'll even be in town for it or whatever. You'll be gone, right?
It's on Memorial Day, right?
No, it's the Saturday before Memorial Day.
Saturday before. Oh.
Yeah, they do it on the Saturday before because everyone drinks on Sunday and then comes in and tries to do Murph and rhabdo's a thing. So maybe let's not. So the TCS does it on Saturday instead of on Monday. But I was going to say, if you're planning on doing it, make sure you sign up early because it's a limited classes because of COVID. So there's only so many spots, but no pressure. You're hiking the Grand Canyon, so.
I have no desire to do Murph. Honestly, even if I weren't going on a hike, I don't think I would want to do Murph. So.
I typically only do a half. I'll run a half a mile, I'll do a half, and then I'll run another half a mile. It's typically what I do. Just because that's fine. It's plenty.
It's plenty hard. Yeah.
Plenty. Good. Enough shoulder issues. I don't need to make them worse.
Yeah, with my shoulder stuff. No thanks.
Yeah, you've got shoulder issues too, so it's good. It's good.
But
all right.
I'll cheer for others if I'm around. I will.
Yeah, I mean, come up and cheer and keep everyone moving through it. There's definitely going to be 2 heats, and if there's a lot of interest, they'll add a 3rd heat, but it'll be a full day. That's for sure. Everyone will be.
Are they doing a kids one? I heard they've done that in the past.
We have let a kid. I do the kids one. We are not because of the COVID. Yeah. But we have the past few years. Maybe next year we'll be able to do a kids one. Hopefully, I'm doing one with my family. We do like a quarter to a half, depending on the kids and how quickly they're moving through it. So, yeah. But we did it as a group 2 years ago, and then I do it with my family. We do a quarter to a half, depending on how quickly the kids are going.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Family workout.
Family workout in honor of Memorial Day. So that's what we.
Nice.
It's what we do. It's good. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for this.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Of course. It's good to see you. Oh, and the Sunday after we do Murph, there will be a live recovery at the gym on that Sunday. I don't know the date, but we're going to do it live for Murph people. So if you're around and interested in doing it like in person, sign up for that.
Okay.
It's never full, so there should be room.
Good stuff. Thanks, Kevin. Have a good day.
You too. Talk to you later.